Chapter 14. The Architecture of Trust. Trust. It is never built in a single moment. It grows in fragments, almost invisible. A hand reaching for yours without being asked. A message answered when you least expected it. The truth spoken when a lie would have been easier. Trust is fragile because it cannot be touched. It lives in the unseen space between people. When it is strong, silence feels safe. Distance feels bearable, and vulnerability feels like a gift. When it breaks, every word cuts. Every closeness stings, and every openness feels like danger. The first time my trust was shattered, it wasn't the betrayal that hurt most. It was the collapse of my reality. Realizing the ground I stood on was never as solid as I believed. Trust, once cracked, doesn't simply heal. It must be rebuilt, brick by brick, act by act, truth by truth. And yet, not all fractures mend. Sometimes the break is the ending. That too is part of the truth. Trust is terrifying because it demands surrender. It asks you to place your heart in someone else's hands without guarantee. That is why so many retreat behind walls. But walls don't just keep out danger. They keep out connection. The deeper secret? Trust with others begins with trust in yourself. When you silence your intuition, when you override your boundaries, when you abandon your own signals, every betrayal cuts deeper. Because it doesn't just prove they failed you, it proves you failed to protect yourself. The body whispers before the mind accepts. The stomach tightens. A chest grows heavy. A breath shortens. And too often, you silence those signals because you don't want to believe them. But the body is rarely wrong. Learning to trust yourself means honoring those whispers, even when you don't yet have the evidence. It means acting on your behalf without waiting for permission. When you begin to trust yourself, you stop giving your entire safety away. You can lean without collapsing. You can love without losing yourself. True trust does not demand perfection. It asks for honesty, consistency, accountability, not control, but the knowing that even when things get messy, love will remain. And here is the paradox. Trust takes years to build, but only a moment to destroy. Every small lie corrodes. Every broken promise weakens. But every act of honesty, every quiet showing up, is another brick laid in the architecture of belonging. We are drawn to those who are steady, who say what they mean, who follow through. That steadiness is magnetic. It pulls us closer because in a world of masks, authenticity is rare. But trust will always demand courage. It will ask you to risk again after being broken, to forgive yourself for ignoring the warnings, to extend the grace you also crave. Without trust, life may feel safe, but it also grows small. With trust, life expands, love deepens, communities thrive. And maybe one day you'll realize the people who earned your trust were the very ones who built the architecture of your life. Not the dazzling, not the loud, but the steady. The ones who showed up until their presence became as natural as breathing.